see, the mind can only focus on one thing at a time. The mind cannot focus on two things at once. If you try and put two images in the mind at the same time, you have confusion. It'd be like putting two images on the screen at the same time. You'd have confusion.
We definitely want our rocket to reach Uranus. That's it's a stretch goal to reach Uranus, but it's definitely something we think we should aim for.
Hey Joe, Vince Gould, Yahoo Sports. For the first time since 1975, this is the NBA Finals where you have two black head coaches. Given the plight sometimes with black head coaches in the NBA, do you think this is a significant moment? Do you take pride in this? How do you view this, or do you not see it at all?
I wonder how many of those have been Christian coaches. David Aldridge?
Statistically, there are more women on Earth than there is men. And if every single man just married one woman, there would be millions of women that are single. Like, why would you want that for your sisters that you love? Honestly, I love my friends, and if they wanted to marry my husband, I would definitely encourage it.
The show goes on! Hard about, women don't leave good men. There are a lot of women nowadays that have conformed to this victim mentality. It's a lot of women that y'all in a space where you have left a good man alone. And your mind has told you that he wasn't a good man based on the hypothetical situations you created in your mind that aren't real based on your mismanagement of emotions. Everybody keeping up so far? Like, good niggas get left all the time. So this whole, look, saying y'all keep telling y'allself to make y'allself feel better like you didn't actually lose a good person, that's just a coping mechanism to make you feel like you're mostly right in all the failed relationships you've been in. I'm not saying a bitch reasons for leaving the dude alone is right or wrong. Not even speaking on that. But this whole concept that y'all hoes done grouped up and keep telling yourselves and reciting and sharing and posting that, if you seen a decent woman leave the dude alone, like he wasn't no good dude, cause ain't no woman that's a decent woman gonna leave a good man alone. They do it all the time, bitch. We do it all the time, bitch.
Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now.
That's how you bitch a boy up. You come through real tough. I suck your nuts, nigga. I suck your nuts.
Okay.
I suck your nuts. And you know it.
You telling
I'm
the
the
truth.
truth.
You telling the truth.
I suck your nuts. You scared?
Peace. It's Kyrie from White Rabbit Psychedelics and the Columbian Exchange. And the question that I have for you today, are you a shaman? A shaman is simply one who knows. There are such things such as entheogens. And if you look up the etymology of entheogens, it simply means God within. So when you eat these plants that are encoded with God's DNA, you get the codes of the universe downloaded into your system. Even the Christians get down with this theory or this concept. All you have to do is go to Mark chapter 6, verse 51. And Jesus is basically saying, I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Whoever eats this bread will live forever. And he doubles down on this when he says, truly, I tell you that unless you eat from the bread of life, you will never receive eternal life. And when you understand that he is not being relative, he's not being figurative, he's being literal. And everybody is not a shaman, but if you are a shaman, then you're willing to take a part of God within yourself, cure yourself of your mental and emotional and spiritual diseases. And then the next part, you go into healing other people. So many people just deep dive into helping and healing other people without doing the true inner work, the entheogen work, digesting and consuming psychoactive plants. Here on the West, we think that you're crazy or weird for doing these types of things. But for millions and millions of years, this was just normal practice of shamans or healers of the village. So I'm asking you, are you a shaman or are you just a regular human being that don't actually know God?
I project myself outside of myself and I talk to myself when I'm speaking. I project myself.
Damn. Here we go again.
What's good, ladies and gents? It's about that time to get into some astrology. It's your main man, the Hood Mystic, here with another video. Thank y'all for rocking with me. If y'all are here, a simple thing y'all could do is like the video. Another simple thing y'all could do, share the video on your social medias. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Engage in the chat. That is always good. Today we're just going to talk about the week in astrology. I did some research on the aspects that's coming up this month. One of the main reasons that I do this is for people who work or have careers, busy, don't understand astrology, and wouldn't be able to do this even if they wanted to do it. And I'm just doing this from a scholarly perspective. So the conversation is generally general, no pun intended. The reason that we want to be general is because it can apply to you in many different ways. And so, with all of that being said, let's just jump into this real quick. If you will go to hoodmystic.com, link in the description, it'll take you to it'll take you to the portal where you'll be able to access the White Rabbit, which is my Substack. And for the subscribers, right? Up until Friday. It'll be free on Friday, but like exclusive for the subscribers to be in tune with the week. If you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the article, what you will see is a mental health wellness worksheet. Okay, in reference to the astrology and the thing that I want to bring you guys attention to is understanding what house Gemini is in your birth chart. Okay? Gemini representing the mind, mental health. Mental health, same as physical health. Okay? Let's talk about this real quick before we get into the build. But I just want to, if you're trying to subscribe, you got to pay $5 a month to get early access to the worksheet for the free. You would just have to wait until Friday around 8:30, 10:30, somewhere around there. It'll be free. So you can utilize the worksheet whenever, but if you need it real bad, you would just have to drop that $5. But if you're already a subscriber, you have access to it right now. And it's so important because I like to relate this information to I like to relate this information to a personal story um, that's regarding mental health. And when you're the breadwinner of a family, I'm not talking about myself, I'm just talking about things that I observed in my real reality. I'm gonna have to let me see where I'm at that battery life. I'm good for a battery. If I'm talking for too long, I'll have to charge it. But anyways, there is a breadwinner that I know very closely that's suffering from mental health. And when you observe somebody suffering from mental health, it could be representing like an alcoholic addiction, right? You would get frustrated at that person, right? You would be mad at that person. Maybe they could do more with their life and they not doing it, and they embarrassing you. You ashamed. You don't know what to do. Um, that's a representation of health. So when you're angry at somebody who's suffering from mental health, that's likened to being mad at a family member that can't walk, right? And every time you see them in the wheelchair or in their walker, you get frustrated, you get embarrassed. When we talk about mental health, we're talking about a disposition that many people cannot help. And even if they could help, they're not even going to do it because the sick part about mental health, it doesn't really alert you to, hey, you're suffering from mental health. What it generally feels like normal reality. So when we're talking about mental health and we're relating it to spiritual development, it would be real cool if you focused on it this week, right? You'll have many weeks in your life to focus on many different things. But let's rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 in the chat. How important is your mental health in reference to your overall health? Doesn't your mental health bleed into your emotional health? Doesn't your mental health bleed into your physical health? You stressed out, you fatigued, you having pains, different types of pains here and there, right? It's related to the mental health, spiritual health, mental health. Oh, yeah, it's going to really disturb and distort the spiritual health. Even more so, the spiritual health, if the mental health is not correct, if the mental health is not correct, the spiritual health is not correct. However, the skewed mental health comes across generally as spiritual enlightenment, ironic enough. So when we think about this week in astrology, we're talking about a few different things. The sun entering into Gemini, sidereal Gemini, the sun squaring Saturn, and then we have some moon transits and then a quarter moon that's going to take place on Friday. So if you are keeping track of your worksheets, a clutch thing that will be very helpful for you is the new moon worksheet where you were intentional about your intention. And the good thing about writing your intention, you're more likely to forget that intention during the quarter moon because there are a lot of different squares that are taking place in the chart that is going to take you off track, that is going to try to subdue you from your path. Because one thing that I do notice about specific entities and energies is that they are not all good, right? So let's get into the first aspect, which would be the Sun square Saturn. And the theme of this actual transit, which we're feeling now, and we're going to feel moving into the week, is making sure that you're getting on the right track. So the alignment with the energy is that you woke up today and you was about your business. Does that resonate with y'all? One's in the chat if that concept resonates with y'all. Today, you woke up and you was a little bit more focused than you normally are. Did you wake up a little bit early today? Did you this cat this cat is so irritating. We got a little kitten and she cannot sit still and she always doing the most. Today was a day where your discipline may have been a little bit charged up. Please. Thank you. And the reason that we say that is because we're talking about the Sun square Saturn. So the Sun square Saturn is allowing you to more naturally look at your weaknesses, look at where you're showing up kind of messed up and correcting that. So I tend to look at squares for melanated people a little different. I think the inventors of the astrological system didn't correctly identify squares because when you are in a particular frequency, an ancestral frequency, and you're placed with challenges, you're naturally activated to acclimate and adapt to the challenge. Some of your best days was probably in bad situations. One's in the chat if you can reflect on growing up not having a lot of money but still enjoying the day. A summer day in the hood, fire hydrant open, double dutch, coming up on a couple quarters, going to the penny store, getting a bag full of candy, sharing it with your friends. It was utter bliss when maybe you didn't have a lot of money, but at the same time, now that you have all of these things that you work so hard for, the simplicity of life, of simply being disciplined, being structured, those things are worth way much more than the things that you quote unquote working for. So when we talk about this energy pushing its way into Gemini, you're going to be in the space of either mental fulfillment or searching for things that don't actually exist. We're in a real powerful time of magic, but the thing about magic and the thing about cooking or the thing about walking, any modality of life, you can only focus on one specific thing. So the prescription of the week is to focus on your mental health because the mind is all. When the mind is healthy, like if you wake up with a healthy mind, you kind of look at the particular, let's just say the BS that you've been through in the past, and it will tend to subdue you, right? But when you face with a square, it presents an energy like, oh, I could actually make it through. This is just how it felt to me. It felt like if I needed to have a good day, the power was in my hands to have a good day. And I had the ability to wake up and do everything that I needed to do. And regardless if I wasn't able to do that on Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, I was able to do it today. So as melanated people, I think that it is very important for you to seek out challenges because they'll be easier for you to focus. And more than if there are no challenges, work off a list Work off a schedule, because the list and the schedule is going to have you keep focused and make sure that you only focus on one thing at a time. That's going to give you the power to do something about whatever energy that you're trying to accomplish. So I just want to reiterate the particular theme of this week. There's only going to be a quarter moon. There isn't going to be a new moon or a full moon. You want to go back and understand what your intention was. Once again, if you do not set intentions for yourself, someone else will set intentions for you. And the overall disposition of that is that you will not be happy. And the reality is that your life is much more contortionable. That's not a word, but it felt good, right? Your life is so much more moldable if you understand how to mold it, how to get your hands in the gristle. And one of the most prime times for us is this Gemini transit, where your available ability to use your mind, which is cosmic, is so many people. I'm just getting the download as I'm actually speaking this. It's so many people who only understand themselves to be human beings. Thus, they enter into a dark period where the reality of being a human being is all that they can actually reflect upon. And it's like believing any lie is going to create psychopathy, because a lie is not the truth. So even if it's one lie, it's going to split your focus. But lies are like roaches, they multiply. So now your mind is reflecting on a million different lies, and you're trying to figure it all out. Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one spiritual truth, and it is your divinity, it is your silence, it is your breath, it is the walking meditation, it is the ability to meditate in all that you do. If you set up a life of work, but you listen to jazz while you work, that work is no longer work. You're only focusing on the horn that John Coltrane is playing, and he's going to bend space and time, put you into a different dimension, and you're now accomplishing things at a high level because you're utilizing everything around you. There are ways to bend this whole entire reality, but you have to learn how to focus on the only thing that you need to focus on, which is your soul and your higher self. Within this conscious community and talking to people, your thoughts are too scattered. But you don't have to think about anything. You just have to wake up early enough. You have to wake up with enough energy to then do the thing that you need to do, to either take the shower, to shave, to do the studying, to do the meditation. The reality of the world that we live in the gig economy, in the internet, in the e-commerce, and working from home, is that you waking up at a later time, you doing what you want to do, and you have no discipline. You have no focus. When we talk about spiritual development and spiritual things and spiritual understandings, this is way more complex than material understandings. But even in the realm of material understandings, if you do not have a focus, you will not accomplish what it is that you're setting out to accomplish. If you have a destination, but you're not focused on getting to the destination, chances are you won't get there, because in life, focus is the thing. So when we talk about spirituality, the confusion in spirituality is that you can do so many different things, and you can study so many different things, and you can read so many different books, and you can deal with so many different concepts, and you can listen to so many different teachers, and there are so many different gurus, Pan-African, Hebrew Israelites, Hindu, Vedic, all of these particular things, and it's all bullshit. The only sweet science is your everlasting soul and your meditation. And if you choosing which thing or which person you need to listen to and be up under, they are only scamming you. They're making money off your ignorant ass because you don't know any better. And you're not focused enough to even meditate. When it comes to meditation, the conscious community at large are some weak ass bitches. And I mean that with love and sincerity. It pains a nigga to actually meditate because meditation requires focus on that which you truly are. It's so much of fragmented spirituality that you may or may not be making the right decision when following and listening to a spiritual guru or a spiritual master. So when you look at Sun Square Saturn, I promise you, and I bet you all the money that I got, the thing that's going to make you most happy is doing the thing that makes you feel that you are most aligned in doing. When you wake up and you exude a day that you say, man, this was a good day. That's going to be way more beneficial than you feeling like you need motherfucking help. If I remember, I'll answer that question. I heard it 3 times today. Neil Patel, he said, in the marketing space and building your brand, so many people try to do so much, but they can only do but one thing at a time. And even he referenced Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, billionaires, and they were asked at separate times, what is the secret to success in one word? And they both gave the same answer, which was focus. Focus is one of those things that's like right there in front of you. It's the easiest thing, but it's the hardest thing that you ever going to do. And the thing would be, the next hard question would be, what should I focus on? Well, when you reference into the energy, and that's why I would say, make sure, well, Friday, if you got the free, you can wait till Friday, right? But or you can do this now. You could just reference your chart. You don't need to pay for this actually. Visit astroseek.com, go to the transit chart, and wherever Gemini is in your chart. So if you have planets in Gemini, like if you have the sun in Gemini and you know what house that is, well, that's the house Gemini is in your birth chart. So you can reference what is the thing is going to be easier for you to focus on what you need to focus on. So this is happening in my 9th house where my moon is at. So this is like an exploration in who I truly am. When you get into the mythology of Gemini, it's about Castor and Pollux. It's about the human being and the soul and the overall relationship between higher and lower self and the deeper reality that you are more than what you think you are, and how well do you integrate it through focus in the mind. In the tarot, the cards that rule the energy of Gemini are the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. And these are historically negative cards that represent ill mental health. It is almost saying that people is just going to suffer and suffer and suffer with this aspect. And it's just like, for me, the solution for me has always been the understanding and realization that I do have a soul that can actually heal the mind. When we get into the Kabbalion and we get into the universal laws, all is mind, right? The universe is a mental creation, and all things are created through the power of the mind. And more than just the conscious mind, we're talking about the subconscious mind. So it's a lot going on mentally. There's a lot going on energetically. People going to hit you with the full flim flam, and maybe you going to get caught up in it. But I would say that the energy this week is way more simpler than the over dramatization of people who don't have no consciousness of who they truly are, because the spell work is mighty, mighty strong. I'm into the spiritual reality and more of dealing with the background energies. I don't really care about the results. I care about the causal energy, the planetary energy, and how they relate to the chakras and my overall spiritual development, because I've seen it play out. I'll be turning 40 years old this year. So I've been in this for a while. So I've actually been observing the stars for a while. And it's not a game, it's serious. And I've seen the cycles. And the main thing about being older and seeing the cycles and losing the cycles, and when they come back again, you better be ready for the cycles to take control of the power. Mars and Aries is that exact thing that I'm talking about. Because I've once been in this position in my life where I felt like it's the testosterone for me. It's the every day in the gym for me, right? Every day in the gym going hard. I was in that energy for a period of time, but life lifed, and my mental went into an area where I thought I was cool, but I was actually gaining weight like a motherfucker. Was in the chat if you ever been in a situation like that. And then when you try to get back on the bike, the cycle be Mars was in Pisces, Mars was in Aquarius, Mars was in his, where you're supposed to be doing your training videos, right? You're supposed to be starting your athletic workout tapes. But if you miss the cycle, if you off the bike, the planets don't stop moving because you stop grooving. They'll just keep moving, and you'll just be like crisscross back in the day. I missed the bus. But the beautiful thing about it is that Mars is back in Aries. I'm back at the gym, and I feel like, it's mine for the taking. And the thing for me is that just don't quit. Just stay with it. Just stay at it, right? We're talking about masculine energy that we need. Men need testosterone and women need testosterone. At balanced levels, women don't need as much testosterone as men, but when we talk about testosterone, we're talking about a magical hormone. We're not talking about what your sister do in the next room over to you, right? We ain't talking about those type of hormones. We're talking about the chemicals, the neurochemicals that are either secreting or not secreting based upon the energies that you partake in. What type of matrices you find yourself in. Y'all be really working every day, but not working out. Purifying those lymph nodes. The money is not going to sweat out those lymph nodes and cycle the body and deal with your electromagnetic energy. The money not going to do that. The restaurants not going to do that. The gatherings, the hip, the ha's, the parties, the get-togethers, the kickbacks, the laughs, the giggles, they're not going to engage your electromagnetic system, that masculine energy, that's testosterone, that's going to give you that natural instinct to go and get it. there's a deeper concept that we're working with Mars and Aries, because Mars is home in sidereal Aries, by the way. The concept of the true will. What is the true will? Well, y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that sweatshirt that Jay-Z had? Now Jay-Z is the man. You hating on Jay-Z, you crazy. Jay-Z knows something. Right? Do y'all see the shirt he had on? He had the Do It Thou Wilt shirt on. Let's open it up in a new tab. Jay-Z was tapped into it. What was he doing with it, though? I don't know. They won't even let me zoom in on this boy. But type Do It Thou Wilt in Jay-Z, you'll find the shirt, right? But Do It Thou Wilt is some Aleister Crowley stuff. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Meaning, do what your will is going to do, and you're going to fulfill your true will. So, true will is pure will. When you think about Mars and Aries, it have been baptized in Pisces. It comes into Aries with fresh new energy, and you're able to allow the hormones to lead you. But this is a person that's in tune with their body. And you would say, I don't need to be in tune with my body. I got money hood. I got big bankroll. I don't need to be in tune with my hormones or my chakras. If you don't know, hormones and chakras are one and the same. Your endocrine system, which releases the hormones, we're going to make or break whether you have a good day. Y'all ever seen a beautiful woman with a bad attitude? Once in the chat. What's the first thought you think? Man, she looked too good to be that angry. You ever seen a beautiful man with a bad attitude? What you think, man? You too handsome. If I was you, what you say? You say, if I was you, I'll be happy. So what you ultimately saying is there is a way to absolve yourself of all mental anguish if you just tap into your inner power. There's a part of you that knows what to do. And you, your conscious mind, really just have to be in autopilot. But once again, we're not talking about lazy energy. We're talking about active, the most active that you can muster yourself to be. This is the best that you can get. You can take this fire and you can build this fire, or you can see this fire and let it dwindle because you're not even paying attention to your own energy. That's so tragic when you think about it. People are like, well, I don't need to really get into the astrology because I got money. But what about your spiritual energy? Don't you want to be in some kind of alignment? Don't you want to understand what's happening? Mars is squaring Pluto. When I said that Sun is squaring Saturn, I referenced the challenge, and the challenge is still here, but the challenge is great for the melanin structure because the challenge allows an automatic adaptation. It's an automatic upgrade. Think about the Apple iPhone upgrade. Does the Apple iPhone upgrade come from the point of, man, this phone is great, let's just make it better? Or does the upgrade say, man, this camera ain't working like it's supposed to work, y'all need to put the 3 lenses like the Galaxy so the camera could be better? Y'all need to add this feature so the phone could be better. Meaning that the phone was probably ass, you add a feature so it can be better, but the phone is still ass. That's melanin in the realms of a challenge. it naturally upgrades. You naturally have the download. So when you talk about Pluto and Capricorn, this is a level of progression that your conscious mind cannot factor. So if this is communicating with your planet of action, you are going to be able to move in a way that your conscious mind is not privy to, but your ass better be in the seat riding. How do you be properly in the seat riding comfortably? You got to take care of the vessel. You got to be in tune to the vessel. You can't be out of shape, out of whack, mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually praying for something. Sometimes it gets to a point, especially Mars and Aries, where it's your responsibility, but not so much of a responsibility where you relinquish all control of the vehicle. It's a deep spiritual aspect, but it's one of the most powerful spiritual aspects because it's that aspect where you're not trying to control or manipulate the streams of consciousness. You're just going to hop on your canoe and just canoe down the river stream. You never get into a canoe and say, okay, waves, I need the waves to operate a different way. So let me do a spell ritual. Let me find a guru who's going to change the way that the river flows. You will spend all your money, all your time, all your resources. And I promise you, these spiritual people, these spiritual men and women, I'm going to be polite today. These spiritual men and women only leave y'all spent and even more confused after you spent all of the energy. I promise you, I could bet any amount of money. I will debate any scholar. I will debate any spiritualist, any guru. You can challenge me on any point. The most bliss that you're ever going to find within your spiritual development is finding your true will, doing what your soul wants you to do, and not obstructing it by getting a weave or getting some or doing some extra stuff, going on a trip, like, doing all of this stuff because it's spiritual. The pure will is in everything that you do. It's in every interaction. And I promise you, if you just calm down and go into your chakra centers and just allow the interaction to take place, things will start to unfold for you. It's so crazy because it's like this energy is like people like, man, I want this to happen. And I'm like, damn, I can see it happening. But they can't see it happening. Do y'all understand what I'm saying when I say what I say? One's in the chat if you can understand or understand when somebody say, man, I want to accomplish this, I want to do that. And can you see, like, dang, it's already done. You just got to walk into it. You just got to do the steps. And it's a beautiful thing when your child going into adulthood and they figure out what they want to do, and you their parent, and you like, yeah, I already seen you doing that. I already knew you was going to do that. It's the DNA codes playing out. The DNA codes playing out. That's undefeated, baby. I promise you that's undefeated. Your DNA codes, you tune into that. You tap into that above all things. Oh my God. You're going to reach a whole nother level. When you become the self, when it's the Islam, the I, self, law, and master, that's reading them DNA codes through those meditations and saying, okay, I'm going to do this. And then just do it. Oh, I need to learn. Okay, you learning, you taking notes, you leveling up. This the energy. Don't drop the ball. You should think of your quad, like think of your body, think about your muscles, like when you exercise them and how good you feel after a good workout. That's the energy, right? That's that good releasing of those endorphins and feeling good at an internal level. That, like, I guarantee you, we're going to look up two things. We're going to look up yoga and mental health. And then we're going to look up exercise and mental health. And we're going to say what good old Google say. Because y'all want to have the basket without the eggs. I just made up that saying. I don't know what it means. Y'all know what it mean though. Y'all want the basket without the egg. Y'all want to have mental health, but y'all don't want to work out for real. Y'all don't want to do yoga for real. This is for exercise. Given the overwhelming evidence, it seems obvious that we should all be physically active. It's essential if you want to live a healthy and fulfilling life into old age. It's medically proven that people who do regular physical activity have lower risk of heart disease and stroke, type 2 diabetes, bowel cancer, breast cancer, early death, osteoarthritis, hip fracture, falls among older adults, depression, dementia. Right? Think about that before you go to work. Mugs be at work like, at least I'm making that check. But what about your health? Like what is the like? Think about how many times you've seen a poor healthy person. I don't think I ever seen it. When I see a person with their shit together, they usually healthy. And that's why that's why I knew if I was going to take my career to the next level, it wasn't about me marketing. It wasn't about doing a podcast. It wasn't about doing a better YouTube video. At the end of the day, I give a fuck about this shit for real because I know that if I get my body together, that's the wealth. It ain't nothing else. Like, I know that. You should know that too. This should be the thing that we're talking about. Like, it should be a normal conversation because it should be normal displays of healthy lifestyle. That it should be an idea that you like, oh yeah, have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? This is really what's helping me. Because the old school spirituality, which is bleeding into the new school spirituality, y'all niggas think y'all could just be doing spells off of TikTok and YouTube and thinking that it's all cool. You on Reddit and that shit ain't doing nothing. You just delusional as hell. At the end of the day, you ain't doing no. The real magic is Buddy Love and the Nutty Professor. That's real magic. Taking a secret potion and losing all the fat and becoming your true self. Out here having threesomes and having, wild and crazy love affairs because your body is together. As opposed to being lonely, sitting there confused because ain't nobody wanting your ass because you ain't attractive. That's the real. Do some magic on that part. Do some magic on your damn self. Don't do no magic to get nobody to like you, because if you do the real magic, they'll like you naturally because it's self-evident that you like yourself or how you take care of yourself. The objective of this study is to assess the findings of selected articles regarding the therapeutic effects of yoga and to provide comprehensive review of the benefits of regular yoga practice. As participation rates in mind-body fitness programs such as yoga continue to increase, it is important for healthcare professionals to be informed about the nature of yoga and the evidence of its many therapeutic effects. Thus, this manuscript provides information regarding the therapeutic effects of yoga as it has been studied in various populations concerning a multitude of different ailments and conditions. Results from this study shows that yogic practices enhance muscular strength and body flexibility, promote and improve respiratory cardiovascular function, promote recovery and treatment of addiction, reduce stress, anxiety, depression, and chronic pain, improve sleep patterns, and enhance overall well-being and quality of life. You know why this is so important to me? Because a nigga will complain to me about how bad life is. And then if you ask them if they did yoga, they'll look at you like you crazy. But you got a whole body, bro. You got a whole body, sis. So how do you engage it in reference to the energy? Because when you look at Pluto, you're looking at your long term. When you look at Mars, you're looking at your short term. So how do those things correlate? The things you do today should correlate to the person that you're going to be later in life. And when you're younger, none of this shit actually matters, but it should fucking matter. Because the moment that you stop, the harder it's going to get back on that horse, because you got to catch the cycle. And good if you can get into it and do it while, when you off cycle, but you ain't going to get the results. The results come when you on a hormonal cycle. That's why it's a such thing as like yo-yo dieting and shit. And you'll be in a space where you'll be dieting for a long time and ain't lose no weight. One's in the chat if you ever experienced that. And then all of a sudden you figure something out and then you start losing weight. Yeah, you have a hormonal cycle. You have a set point where you can set those intentions and realize those tensions real easy because you're in the proper alignment, Mars and Aries. Okay, so let's go to the next aspect, which is going to be like two aspects in one. The moon in Leo, which is going to be a quarter moon around Friday, which is going to be trining Jupiter in Taurus, or squaring. No, let me see. It's trining Jupiter and squaring Mars and Aries. So when we look at moon and Leo, we're talking about Kundalini energy. And when we talk about Kundalini energy, we're talking about self-realizing energy. Moving in that, ushering in the changing of the shift of energy. I would say, first of all, when the moon is trining Jupiter and you single and you looking for a romantic partner, and you trying to figure out the window, see, you could just go out any old day. You're not really strategic. Like, the timing is everything, right? You could really benefit with this. Like, this is real strategic if you want to like understand some game right now. Say you go out all the time and you don't get nothing happening for you. It ain't what you need. You can save all of your money, save all of your outfits for this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be some things going on. It's going to be, oh, we having a Father's Day dinner. Come through. Go to a wedding. Go to a party. Go to a dinner. Do something if you looking. Because the energy is shifting. It's about to be a weekend. Put on that good outfit that you know you look good in and take advantage of the energy. Now, for people that's not actually looking for a partner because you married, this is a good time to like my thing when I'm going out is more on business, more on, can we help each other and that type of deal. So that be my goal, that be my mentality. Because when I look at this energy, it's happening in my third house. And my third house is kind of where, I'm sorry, not even my third house. I'm just thinking of Gemini being the third house, but it's happening in my ninth house. My moon in ninth house be moon in ninth house, and boy, like I just be a little bit of hair everywhere. My phone is robust with just numbers and contacts, right? Because I'm just that type of person. I never knew I was that type of person. But like, if I knew this as a child, I would have knew like I would have been a powerful networker. I would have knew like I could easily get up off my feet because I just have a strong network of people that I don't never really be asking for anything. I just try to do good business. Come on, cat. Doing the most. Another aspect of this, because when you look at family, friends, what you're going to realize what you're gonna realize is that you was right a lot of times, and that's gonna play out too. So, treat people with love, love people from a distance, but don't let nobody obstruct your path. Like, don't let nobody throw you into no emotional vortexes, because it's good for you because you studying and doing what you need to do and doing the healing work. But trust and believe that will mean the people around you going to be doing the work. So the calls from mom and dad giving you the guilt trip bound to come this week. So be prepared for that. Right? Have a backup, because you don't owe these people nothing. You gotta really do your inner work. You gotta really take accountability for yourself and your mental health. And I promise you, the moment that you try to get right on your mental health, it's going to be somebody that tug at it. And you got to think about your ability to be like a people pleaser, to just run and kind of, you got to be like, no, I'm taking some mental health time. I'm working on myself. Because these is very important times for you to get fixated and focused on your larger spiritual goals. And when you factor in your family, friends, and close associates, they could never have that they could never have that desire. They don't care about your spiritual life. How could they? The same way that you don't care about your spiritual life. So once again, we talking about Kundalini work, the moon being in Leo, Kundalini yoga or Kundalini breathing, hard exercise such as like cardio, get the blood running, get the heart rate going, like really tapping into some different energies, so you can really, when you think about the energy that's raining down on the planet, it has to be alchemized within your body. Just sitting there stagnant with stagnant energy, it's like you gotta mix up the sauce. You gotta do the alchemy, and the alchemy is really tied into the body. I feel like it always has been tied into the body when I refer to like martial arts and yoga and things like that. That's the real spiritual shit, right? If you have a martial arts discipline, that's the real shit. You know what I'm saying? A good workout regimen or a good yoga routine, like that's really spiritual. When you just talking it and you don't even look the part, but you talk a good game, niggas supposed to look at you side eye. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay. That's just the reality. So another aspect we want to talk about with this moon in Leo is that it's going to be a quarter moon. So once again, reference your new moon worksheet. Make sure you still in alignment with that intention. And then also realize like why, if that intention has shifted or you forgot about that intention, begin to ask yourself why. Because when you talk about the things that you truly want, when this energy shift into the quarter moon, your mind will start to go into different directions. Maybe I don't actually need a house. Well, what's going to happen? The energy going to rotate back around to the new moon, and you're going to be setting the new moon intention like, man, I need a new house. So if your new moon intention is to get a new house and you feel yourself shifting, this is a time to bring you back into alignment. What are the things you need to bring yourself into alignment? What are the things that have been going on? What's been adjustment in your mental health? Because once again, when you talk about intention, let's be clear on this, because this can go over heads too. I just feel like it's a lot of places that you can go where people is going to be gossiping about other niggas. Niggas going to be reacting to whatever happened on social media or the news. Me, I'm just here for the spiritual education, because like I don't understand how all of this power is in the world and many people just relinquish it and like they don't care or they don't have it. And to me, I just am a person that will just hope forever. Like I will keep the hope for people until the end. And the reality of that is that we have to learn. We can't be afraid of learning. We can't be afraid of processing spiritual information so that it penetrates deep into our subconscious mind. We gotta get used to a way of life where learning is just normal and natural and is necessary, and we recognize that it's beneficial. And we then look at the entertainment like, man, that's a waste of time and a waste of energy. When we look at the word intention, we're seeing words such as purpose, design, aim, or object, will, wish, desire, that which is intended. It still don't give us the full view of what is being talked about. But let's look further. The Latin word intentio, a stretching out, a straining, an exertion, an effort. These are what we're more talking about. If I set an intention, see the problem with me, and I'm gonna just be frank. When I think of an intention, I'm thinking of something that is just going to magically happen. So if I say I want a new house, I'm just hoping for the house to magically happen. But the reality of setting an intention for a new house is that you are going to stretch and exert yourself to get the new house, or else it's not an intention. One of the main parts of an intention, and the thing about magic and spirituality is that the problem with niggas is that they looking for an easy way out. And I'll say it's some evil ass spirits out here. It's some demonic ass spirits out here with motherfucking everything you looking for. A Dodge Hellcat, 12 inches, a six pack, 7 feet tall, protect, provide, and a full demon. Give you everything that you want, live an easy life. But when we talk about pure English and pure spiritual modalities, niggas will get on this goddamn YouTube and beat your brains to death with intention as if that's the end all be all to you accomplishing what you need to accomplish. The reality of the scam of spirituality is that they're not going to talk about the stretching out, straining, exertion, or effort required for anything that you motherfucking want. When we talk about focus, we're talking about your whole attention. What did you journal? What was your intention? Whatever that is, you should put your whole attention to that shit, or else you don't actually want it. And that's a crazy thing to sit back and think about. You want something that you don't really want. You want something that you're really not going to exert yourself to get. And I'm not making it up. Hopefully you can see and read it and bear witness to it. Once again, we're talking about mental health. And I think it's corny for it to be men's mental health and your baby mama having fucked up mental health, but your mental health is cool. That don't make sense. Let's have mental health all fucking year. What the fuck? Why do we got to worry about men's mental health? See, people think that I have a double standard when it comes to fucking holidays. I don't care about Father's Day or nothing. Every day should be Father's Day. Every day should be your birthday. Every day should be a celebration. You shouldn't be waiting for a specific day to enjoy yourself. That don't even make sense. I enjoy every motherfucking day. Every day is my birthday. Because why wouldn't every day? Why would my birthday be one specific day? That don't even make sense. Why would then I celebrate this one specific day because it's a date on the calendar? No, I'm gonna just celebrate every single day and treat every day like a holy day. But the point of it is that all of these particular rules and structures and pains and sadness and negativity, when we do Kundalini work, when we do self-realization work, you have to let it go, because the problem with mental health, that shit gonna take over your whole shit. Listen, I don't care how spiritual you is. If your mental health is fucked up, it don't matter. It don't matter, bro. That's the real. It don't matter how much money you signed up for a course. You looking for a solution. And you ain't did no mental health wellness. Then you say, man, I need a therapist. That therapist really care about you? Or is that therapist collecting a check? And I'm talking about people who making it through life, right? You making it through life, you paying rent. Check on your motherfucking mind, right? Go through the workshop. Go through the worksheet, not a workshop, right? Free worksheet. You might have to join the Substack, pay $5 to get early access to it, but it will be free on Friday. Is your mind in the right place? It's about to get crazy. Up in this, man, it's about to get crazy. This thing is ramping up. And the crazy part about it, I seen they gonna have Olympic people from all over the world. That says it could be war all over the world, and people still gonna be able to do what they need to do. It's more or less on your focus. It's gonna be some crazy stuff happening in this country this year to let you know what type of country that this is. You know, we might look at India. They still alive though. They still living, but it's messed up out there. We gonna be that same. It's gonna be like that. You know, it's messed up in America, but we still alive. It been ghettos in America. Y'all just don't go to them. Been fucked up here. We just don't go in certain areas because we know better. Same rules apply. Same rules apply. It's gonna be crazy. You can act like you about to save the world, or you gonna actually save yourself. You gonna act like you changing the world, or you really just gonna change yourself? And you gonna get to like, all right, like I said, it's 1,000,001 things that you can focus on. You actually think that you gonna choose the right thing to focus on? You really think you choosing the right person because a motherfucker resonate with you because you like it or enjoy it? You think you making the right decision? Anytime anybody asks me something that's close to me, what should I do? I really don't know what I should do. Ask your soul. And if your soul tell you that's what you should do it. You'll never get no fight back from me. No, nothing, no pullback. Do what you need to do. Cause I ain't about to be you. I thought that my spirituality could affect another person's mind. 40 years old, I realized that if I want to be spiritually developed, it's going to be for me. I'm not going to go crazy about what the next motherfucker is doing or not doing because they like a part of my YouTube or a part of my family. And they like, see, I thought you could help me, or no. That's a game. That's a con. That's a scam. You got to be able to change your perspective and look at things from truth. It's a lot of things that you'll hear from me in the future that you'll be like, damn, that's crazy. It is crazy, but it's the truth. I think about it a lot. So check out the article, of course. Get in tune with the Substack. Get in tune with the Discord. Get in tune with it all, man. Hopefully we'll bring the initiates on here tomorrow and we'll cover some things that's in our Discord channel. Get caught up in some content that we wanted to talk with y'all in a real educated fashion. But we'll probably do some shorts and do a real major live on Friday. Before I get out of here, this must be said. Go through this workshop. I keep saying workshop because it's late. Go through this worksheet. I care about your mental health. I care about your spiritual development. Sad to say, if your mental health ain't together, the spiritual development not going to be together. Good way to do it is figuring out what house Gemini is in. Journal how that keyword to that house resonates in your personal life. For me, it's exploration and figuring out who I truly am and showing up as that. That has been my motivation. But mentally, I've had to really realize that, I've developed and grown myself mentally a lot, right? And it's good because to be who I am and to do what I need to do, I gotta not give up a lot of times, and that comes from having a strong mental health, and that's refreshing for me. But it's also some things that I have to reflect on, as far as my current emotions and things that I'm experiencing, and really probing why I'm feeling that way because it might show up crazy to people that I love. So I need to correct that within myself. The problem is that you want the people in your life to change. And the trick to that is that they never do. Okay. So a good way to deal with this too is how are your close relationships contributing to your mental health? Are they building you up or breaking you down? And if you are a man or a woman and you feel that somebody is breaking you down mentally, let me tell you from personal experience, you do not have to live in that reality because there's plenty of people that come from good families, have good hearts that are out there that's going to build you up and you're going to feel good. And you're not going to even miss the person that was breaking you down. Okay? So don't stand for that energy. It's too late in the game. It's 2024. It's time to get down with the get down. I don't care what a motherfucker got over you or what y'all got together. If the shit is toxic, it's time to let that energy go. If you arguing with somebody, you can't focus, it's time to let them go. Another thing that I want y'all to do, write down someone you can call when you having a hard time. Even if you're not having a hard time, text those people and tell them thank you and you love them and you care about them. Get in the habit of building your network and letting people know, hey man, I don't need you for nothing. And I know if I did need you, I could call you. But I appreciate you for that, man. Cause you never know, nigga. You never know when you're gonna need somebody. And this is all related to mental health. Right? Sometimes we got people and we don't even realize we got people. Sometimes, we ain't got nobody and we need to reflect on why we ain't got nobody. Because we can't actually blame everybody in the world why we ain't got nobody, and it's people that got people. That becomes some inner work that we need to do, some healing that we need to do, some magnetism work that we need to do. Because you can change this whole reality by focusing on your higher self. Don't focus on shit else. Focus on the work that you need to do. Focus on the downloads that's coming to you. Focus on what you need to do. And just live and exist in that energy. So hopefully that was clear enough for y'all. The article will be available. The worksheet is available right now. Check out the White Rabbit Substack. Tune in and tap into that. But beyond that, we're going to come back tomorrow with an initiate video. Hopefully we can get all four of us. But even if we have a skeleton crew, we're going to keep this content coming and keep you guys engaged with spiritual information because this spiritual stuff ain't dead and everybody in the spiritual community is not trying to scam you, right? It's still good people in this spiritual stuff whether you know it or not. So peace to the family, peace to the tribe. Thank y'all for tuning in, tapping in with me. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe. This isn't like something that is easy. This takes a lot of time, effort, and an approach. So, with that being said, I just pray that you utilize the tools that are before you and implement some mental health tactic and strategies so you can begin to feel better, act better, and show up better for your family and for your collective, because none of this shit is easy, right? And that's why I will continue to be consistent, because that's the only thing that we can actually do, because that's how hard it is trying to break through the wall between your ego and your subconscious mind. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, and I'll see y'all in the next video.